Hi folks, I'm Bruce Campbell. I'm here on the set of Burn Notice, and sorry we can't be there tonight to honor Bill Grefe and all the other legends, all the pioneers who made filming in Miami possible. This is a special night because we're really celebrating their love of film and how they set up Miami as a viable place to shoot. So thanks to all of you folks, and as a special guest tonight, I want to introduce Melanie Grefe, who is also an assistant director on Burn Notice.
Well, this insane business I've been in for about 125 years, and I thought I wanted to be an actor, and I did the summer stock bid in the Maverick Theater in Woodstock, New York, with a guy that went on to become pretty well known, Lee Marvin, the actor. And then I did some stuff over in Chatham on the Cape and off Broadway. But then the Korean War came along, and I'd seen too many John Wayne movies, so I joined the military. And after I got out, when the war ended, I got out and got married, and I thought, boy, this acting is not too secure, you know. So I sort of took my frustrations out on writing, and I wrote 100 scripts, and I got the rejection slips to prove it, you know. And finally, I sold one called The Checkered Flag, which was about a racing movie. Very first day, the director had a nervous breakdown, collapsed, and the DP was an old pro, and he listened and he said the writer knows all about it, make him the director. And this is 1 o'clock in the morning in a motel room in Sebring, and I'm over in the corner, my God, I'm gonna direct this movie, you know. So the next day I started directing, and fortunately the picture turned out, you know, successful, made money, and so that sort of kicked my career off.
Racing Fever was actually the first film that I worked on with Bill, and I didn't realize that that was actually kind of in the beginning of his career, I think, too, as a director. He'd been writing for some time before that. And
that was the first film in Florida that ever got a major release. It was Allied artists picked it up.
Behind the glamour of Florida's sporting life, a blazing torrent of emotions, and suddenly a grueling race becomes a deadly vendetta.
So I literally wrote Death Curse of Tartu, which was the monster in the Everglades. And I wrote that in 24 hours. And I thought, what can I write about? So I just took the age-old premise that the Pharaoh in Egypt, anybody that disturbs the pyramid, he'll come back and haunt him. Well, I just took that ancient Indian witch doctor in the Everglades, anyone that he'll come back as a wild animal. And so I shot that film in 7 days.
The Death Curse of Tartu. A legend black with evil and red with the blood of innocent youth. Photographed in the forbidding depths of the Florida Everglades, this is the incredible story of an archaeological excursion.
And I guess the first memory of being on a set, not only did I grow up on a set, but was my dad putting my mom on a stretcher, covering her with a sheet and putting size 12 shoes on. And she was a dead person going into ambulance.
From then, since the Coconut Grove at that time was sort of the Haight-Ashbury of the East Coast. It was all the hippie movement, and everybody was in the Grove. And so I wrote this story and developed the screenplay. And I went to California, and it was about an older woman and a younger gigolo type thing. So I thought Rita Hayworth would be perfect for the movie.
That's some of your cute Grove talk.
By the way, how is your daughter Jackie?
Fine.
Stanley, a snake who trusted his natural enemy and was used to carry out a man's personal vengeance. Stanley.
Stanley has been one of the biggest, they call them now grindhouse movies, which recently Quentin Tarantino invited me out to LA to show it in a theater he's part owner of. And so we showed Stanley, and we showed another picture I did called Impulse with William Shatner. So.
Style, fast, furious, didn't waste time, knew what he was doing, complete professional.
He contributed to a lot of people's start in the business. He's very gracious with giving people a chance to, or try to give them a chance to be involved in the business.
I had written a script called Mako, Jaws of Death, which was, since Stanley was successful, I thought, well, I'll keep with the animal trend, but this was about a guy that loves sharks and had communication with sharks. So I wrote that script and couldn't get arrested. No, nobody's interested in sharks, So now Universal comes out with Jaws. And when Jaws came out, it was like the biggest grosser in film history. Everything was sharks. Life magazine, Time magazine, everything, shark, shark, shark. Well, my phone rang off the hook because distributors and investors who had read my script like two years before, they knew I could shoot it immediately. So anyway, I got the money immediately, shot the film.
The first job I worked with Bill Grefe was on Mako, Jaws of Death. My job was to catch the sharks and to be the shark. And Bill would strap a fin on my back and tell me to swim like hell in all kinds of places, from drainage ditches, canals, lakes, rivers, finally the ocean, places you would never think a shark would be. That was me.
Universal had not released Jaws in Europe yet. So I edited up a 7-minute promo reel. And we ended up beating Jaws out in Europe. And we had our money back off that 7-minute promo reel before the movie was even edited. George Fernandez was from Hialeah, and George was a Vietnam veteran. And he wrote a script called Ceasefire. And so went to LA and we hired this actor who had done A Boy and His Dog, a guy named Don Johnson.
Please don't let him die!
So the Michael Mann people called me up and they said, Bill, we got this agent that's driving us absolutely crazy. Can we see any dailies on this guy, Don Johnson? So it's not exactly protocol, but I said, okay. So, because it was the best thing Don ever did. Before or after, Ceasefire was the best thing Don ever did in his whole acting career. So I showed him the dailies, and the rest is history. Don got Miami Vice.
The films that he did that the young people today love, I think that's a wonderful thing and a tribute to this man.
He is a professional man. His handshake is his honor, is his word, and I couldn't be more proud.
Anyway, I keep busy in the film business because once you get it in your blood, how are you going to get it out? There's no way.